Student Handout 3, Measure of Center, is going to be talking about mean and median. What do you know about mean? It is the average. How do you take the average of something? You add, and then what do you do?
Divide.
Divide by what?
The number of attempts.
The number of data points that you have. Okay, do you remember what median is? The middle number. Okay, so we're going to refresh our memory on those two words. First, measure of center is a way of summarizing the data by providing a central point of data. The mean is a measure of center in which they say sum here, but I think it's supposed to say average, of the data is taken. To find, it can be found by finding the what first? Sum of all the data points. After we find the sum, what do?
Divide.
We divide by the number of data points.
And then
the mean can be thought of as determining the fair share. So I could be a basketball player and I could record the number of points I score every game. And if I'm finding the mean, let's say I find the mean and I find it to be 12. Am I necessarily making exactly 12 points every game?
no,
No. Can I make fewer?
the average you make.
Can I make more? Can I make exactly?
Yes.
Yes. I could have a bad day and make only a couple, but I could have a really good day and make like 20 something. Mean is just an average, so I'm scoring about 12 per game. All right, number 1 says the list below shows the shoe sizes for 8 students in the class. Well, what must I first do to find the mean? I got to add them together to find the sum. So let's get a calculator. I need to do 13 plus 12 plus 9.5 plus 10.5 plus 12 plus 11 plus 12 plus 8. And what is the sum? 88. Now how do I find the mean? Divide by what?
8.
How do you know 8? How do you know 8? Because that's how many numbers they took. So divide 88 by 8, what do I get? 11. So the mean or the average is 11. Challenging. Okay, number 3, this is called a frequency table. So number of rings, this is how many times the phone rings before it's picked up. So how many times did the phone ring? 4 times before it was picked up. It says how many? 2 times it rang, 4 times. How many times did the phone ring 5 times? Once. How many times did the phone ring 6 times? Twice. How many times did the phone ring 7? None. They just didn't record it. 8 times. How many times did that happen? 2 and 9 was 1. So I first need to kind of write out all of that. So it rang 4 times. So I'd write 4 twice. How many times am I writing a 5? Once. How many times am I writing a 6? Twice. Am I writing a 7? And I'm writing an 8 twice. And then a 9. So I'm listing all of the numbers from the frequency table. Now I'm able to take the sum. What is the sum? When you add them all together. So 4 plus 4 plus a 5 plus a 6 plus a 6 plus an 8 plus an 8 plus a 9. I think I entered them all correctly. So what's my sum? 50. How do I find my mean? By how many numbers do I have? 8. So I'm going to divide by 8. And what is my mean? 6.25. All right. Next we have median. The median is the measure of center in which the middle of the data is determined. It is found by, lots of people forget step 1, ordering the data from least to greatest. So you first have to put the numbers in order from least to greatest. Then you're able to determine the middle number from the data set. Sometimes there's not a middle number. So if there's not a middle number, then you have to find the mean or the average of the 2 middle numbers. I kind of remember doing that in the past. Not really.
Yes.
All right, so number 4. I have 12 numbers, I believe. Are they listed in order from least to greatest? No. So I first have to list them in order. So what's my smallest number? 0. And how many do I have?
5.
So I'm going to list a 0 5 times. What is after a 0? 1. How many of those do I have?
2.
So I'm going to list that twice. Then what's next? 1.5. I just got one of those, huh? Then after 1.5, 2. I got 2 of those. After 2 is a 3. Just 1. Then a 3.5. Just 1. And then 6. And then an 8. All right, to find the middle number, you're crossing off your ends. So you cancel, 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 cancel. You're trying to find your middle guy. This was a 3.5. Cancel, cancel. And I have 2 numbers left in the middle. Do I have an exactly 1 number left? No. What happens if you have 2 numbers left? What do you have to do? Add them together. So what's 1 plus 1.5? 2.5. Divide that by 2 because there's 2 numbers. So 2.5 divided by 2, I get 1.25 is my median. Always liked taking median, crossing out the numbers.
It's not my favorite thing.
It's not?
It is.
Oh. Number 5 has a dot plot. And it says there's 9 dots, but I'm pretty sure I only see 8 dots. How about y'all? Yep. I only see 8 of them.
There's only 8.
Okay. So I could sit here and write all of these numbers out, but aren't they really the dots kind of in order?
Yeah.
So I could just sit here and cancel out my dots. Cancel, 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 cancel. And I have 2 dots left in the middle. What 2 dots is left in the middle?
2 and 4.
A 2 and a 4. So what do I have to do with those 2? Take the mean of it, or average. So 2 plus 4 is 6 divided by 2.
3.
My median would be 3. And the last one, I have another frequency table. So how many times is 20 being used? Twice. So I'm going to list 20 twice. How many times is 22 being used?
3 times.
All right, so I end up getting a list like this. Maybe I can end up with exactly 1 in the middle for once. So if I find the median, cancel, 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 cancel. Got 2 in the middle, 22 and 24. So again, I have to take the mean. What's 22 plus 24? 46. Divide by 2. 23. So the median would be 23. All right. So the homework's probably going to be pretty challenging, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so hard.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be very difficult. So you have the rest of the hour to do homework 3 and get your geo packet knocked out. Thanks for listening. Hope you make good grades.